Am I audible, ma'am?
Ha, now you are audible.
Okay. This is I am just working on plasmodium membrane proteins. So right now I am on the dry lab work, that is bioinformatics computational biology work. So it is the topic deciphering plasmodium membrane protein function using bioinformatics approach. I will take a small time. Okay. So malaria. So how malaria is caused? It is caused, of course, by plasmodium. We all know it is a protozoa, and plasmodium is having a variety of species: plasmodium vivax, plasmodium falciparum, plasmodium ovale, plasmodium malariae, plasmodium, and this falciparum. These four species are there, and you can see the geographical distribution in my slide as. And the life cycle of the plasmodium occurs in two organisms. One is vertebrate host, and second is female Anopheles mosquito. And in case of female Anopheles mosquito, it is in the gut of salivary gland, while in case of humans, that is the liver cell or the red blood cells. So this is the life cycle of the plasmodium. You can see in the left side, it is showing the sporogenic cycle that occurs in the female Anopheles mosquito, and in the right side, you can see the exoerythrocytic cycle and erythrocytic cycle. As the name states, exo, it is not occurring in the RBC. Erythrocytic cycle, it is occurring in the RBC, and it is the central main stage of the plasmodium falciparum growth. In this stage, a ring stage is formed, and in this ring stage only, we study about the membrane proteins, which are very much essential for making some modification in the RBCs, in the integrity, in the vegetification, and in the assembly of the knobs. So I am not going in the detail of the life cycle. I will just come to my project work, that is core A transporter protein. So why transporter protein is needed? Of course, it is an important export of the proteins. So what type of export protein and why we need it? We need the. Oh, is it okay? I'm audible now. Huh. Why we need the exported proteins? We need the exported protein to make some changes in the RBC so that it can flow throughout the capillary, and the plasmodium can attach to it, and then it can infect the plasmodium for the further stages, for the sexual stages also. So for that, core A transporter protein is required, and core A transporter protein is essential for the magnesium uptake system in the prokaryotes, and it is well conserved in every organism of this phyla. So we are currently studying on the Thermotega marittima core. Yes, Thermotega marittima, because it is a pentameric structure, a membrane structure. You can see in the figure A, it is a membrane structure. C terminus is on the outside of the cell. N terminus is in the funnel, cytoplasmic funnel shaped. And in here, we can see the membrane structure in the A figure. While in the B figure, you can see that how this colorful figure is showing the pentamer structure of the membrane with a central pore, which just binds with the magnesium ions. Not only magnesium ions, it also attaches with the cobalt, nickel, all the divalent cations. So my putative protein is, I'm not revealing the actual name. It is transport protein 1, 2, and 3 of Plasmodium falciparum. And so it is present in strain D37 of the Plasmodium falciparum, and I am studying on it. So I'm just, for the bioinformatics approach, these are the putative ones. I need to functionally annotate this. I need to model this. I need to undergo talking that what kind of inhibitors can be able to just sustain in that pore structure that I have shown in the earlier slide. So in the below, you can see a table. It is the percent identical and percent similarity of the TP1, 2, 3. And in the bracket, you can see the number of amino acids 529, 468, 478, and corresponding to it, the number of percent identical residues and percent similar residues. And we have got this from cluster W alignment. And the template which have taken is core A of Thermotega maritima. Of course, by comparing these two sequences, TP1 with TM, then TP2 with TM, and then TP3 with TM, we have got this identical and similar residues. And for the modular, I have used modular 9.24. And with the PTB file, that is template file, that I have given 3 JCF, core A Thermoteca maritima, which is available in the RCSB PTB protein data bank. And for the docking is the receptor ligand binding, that how much energy should be released, that is the binding energy should be released in order to bind to, in order to get the stable structure of the ligand and protein, that is receptor. And for the visualization, we have seen that colorful picture in the earlier slide. I have used Chimera. So homology modeling, this is the main thing. This is the main funda of the bioinformatics, that how modeling and how docking is occurred. Because, okay, fine, everyone can do, it is a software, it is a tool, but the thing which we require is how to change the parameter, how to change the input file, and how to edit all the Python file for a easily output file, so that we can predict our model, a correct model. So first we need to undergo a blast of our query sequence, and then we will get a number of hits. From there, we will see the query coverage, person identity, person similarity, as well as e-value. These 4 parameters are the most essential for the identity, for the selecting of the template, that is in the second step. Then third step, we undergo the alignment of the template and the query sequence, and then from the alignment sequence, we build a model of the target, that is our query sequence. Evaluate the model, evaluate the model, because we generate thousands of models, and from which, how we will discuss that this model is correct. It is, we just undergo 2 parameters. First is the Ramachandran plot analysis, of course, that how much residues are in the allowed region and how much is not in the allowed region. And it is the basic thing which we all need to do for the evaluation of the model. And the second parameter is molecular PTF score. The lowest the score, the best the model. If your model is okay, the end. And if your model is not okay, again go to selecting the template, that is seeing the query coverage, identity, similarity. So TP1, 2, 3 and the template, you can see this cluster alignment. This is a GMN motif. This GMN motif is found in the core, the central core region, core A of the core A transporter protein. In the central core region, there is a GMN motif, and which is well conserved in all the phyla. And it is mainly essentially necessary for the magnesium, not only magnesium, divalent cations filtration. And so this is my model protein, the colorful model protein, that is yellow is showing my template and the red one is showing TP1. So I have superimposed my modeled protein on the template, and I have made the RMST values. RMST values, it is the root means square deviation, that how much that is deviated from the original structure, and it is showing 0.6.40 angstrom, which is much more less than much more less than 1.0 angstrom. So it is a good model. Second, TP2. TP2 has been shown in blue color, while yellow is being shown as the template, that is core of Thermoteca maritima. And here green is showing the TP3, and here the RMSD value is much more higher, 1.282 angstrom. But we have selected this model on the basis of mole PTF and Ramachandran plot analysis. Next, the molecular docking. So molecular docking, that is R and L, that is receptor and ligand binding. So how the stable and the receptor is binding to the ligand, how the ligand is changing the conformation, in what pose it is fitting into the binding site of the receptor. This is important for the molecular docking, and I have used Autodock for it. So identifying the binding site, first of all, before, you cannot just randomly put a ligand in somewhere on the protein. It is called the blind docking, and it cannot be done on the structure like this, a pentamer structure, which is a huge protein and having a great mass. So we need to identify the binding site. It can be used by CASP server, that is easily available in net. Then we need to convert the receptor and ligand from .pdb, which we retrieve from PubChem, the ligand file, and the receptor file from our PDB protein data bank. We need to convert it from PDB to PDBQT, PDBQT. So protein data bank QT, QT is stands for torsion angles and charges. We need to add charges and angles also. Then grid box parameter is settled, that where in the, just imagine this is a protein And in this protein, where the ligand is going to fit, we need to identify that grid box. And then after this, we need to create grid parameter file. Grid parameter file allows that what is the X, Y, and Z coordinates of the grid box. Then the next step is set docking parameters, which says how many docking files you need. It is much more better. The more the docking confirmation are there, more your result will be accurate, because you are having a number of data to compare each one with the other. And then we create the docking parameter file .dpf, and then ultimately Autodock creates a number of confirmation. Now you need to select which confirmation you have to select, and it is based on the binding energy. Binding energy, more the negative value of the binding energy, that is minus delta G. More the spontaneous, more the stable. So the more the stability, then more you will select that confirmation for the further studies. So I have just used the ruthenium to hexamine for this. I have also used other hexamines, other inhibitors also, pentamines also, but here I'm just showing this only. So TP1 is showing minus 5.31, TP2 minus 5.6, and TP3 is minus 6.03. More the negative value, as I have said earlier. So TP3 is going to inhibit the ruthenium second hexamine is going to inhibit the magnesium flow in the CoRA transporter, because it is having higher the minus negativity sign. As I have written in down below, Gibbs energy determines the stability and the affinity. And here is the structure. You can see that just in between the central in this pentamer structure, there is a ruthenium to hexamine for the CoRA. That is our template that is taken as a control. Then TP1, TP2, and TP3. But here is the deviation. You can see this deviation. Of course, our score is minus 6.03. We can select it. But as I have said in my third or fourth slide, that GMN motive is essentially important because it binds to every other inhibitor. That N-aspargine is attaching to the inhibitor. We take this model only on this confirmation only. We need to do docking again and again with a large number of docking confirmation files. So at last, yes, conclusion is yeah. So I am just undergoing this study. It's of course I have shown homology modeling is essential 30%. We need to have the 30% identity between the template and between the query sequence. But in my case, it was 12.1% identity and 24% similarity. But we have selected this because of the localized identical and localized similarity throughout the sequence. And it is a pentamer, then you can select it. When the protein is large, you can go for homology modeling, but we have to see whether it is a localized or not. And I need to study more about the cationic inhibitors, and this all studies right now going on. So, and at last I want to end this. And of course, I have written my second point, which makes it possible for homology modeling. How a model is reliable because of the arrangement of the secondary structural elements, as I have shown the superimposition in the slides 4 and 5, that how the RMSE value is much more lower, 0.643 angstrom. So we can rely on this model. So at the end, I would like to say today is Dharma Chakra day, and of course, it is a Guru Purnima day. And we are very much fortunate that we are in this platform just discussing about the science, discussing about the current pandemic scenario, everything. And we have been enlightened under the aegis of Ma'am Monisha Ma'am. Thank you so much for providing such a platform so that we can share and express and interact our research work and other doubts. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now I have like this one more speaker left. Yusuf, can you join? Because we won't have much time in this Zoom timing might finish. So we had given 1 hour more. So Yusuf, can you join immediately?